Hey, Tony. Oh boy.
I am the captain now. Okay?
Oh boy.
So if you see reflection, it says JB and Joe fear Tony. Let me tell you why I'm in my captain's chair and why I'm swinging around. Because I know WrestleMania is only a couple days away. I will be in Tampa, Florida in 2 days. You'll be there tomorrow.
That's right. I lead by example. I get there first.
Yeah, listen, you lead by example. First of all, the main event always comes on last. So you could be the opening match. That's fine with me.
No. Oh man, whatever. We just saw Molly Holly get inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame. Congrats to Molly Holly. Um, Joe, have you ever been to a Hall of Fame event?
I have not because the couple times they aired them when they were on USA, they just dragged so much for me. But I turned on tonight's. I was like, all right, I'll watch it because I was like, they're going to be doing 2 classes. I figure it's going to be shorter. Pacing is so much better when they don't have like someone coming out and like inducting them. They're getting right to the chase. The speeches are like 10 minutes, not 30-minute diatribes. So yeah, if they're going to be doing it this way from now on, like instead of obviously the 2020 was only like 90 minutes.
90 minutes, yes.
But if they stretch it out to maybe like 2 hours instead of like a 3 or 4 hour thing for next year, I might actually consider going to it because it's a lot faster paced that way.
Yeah, I like this pace too. I mean, they give them actually a time limit to speak, not giving them free time to speak all day. So I'm liking what I see right now.
Same.
I think it's for the better.
Yeah, me too.
Tony?
I've been to quite a few. Haven't been to all of them just because it depends on who's getting inducted. Most memorable one to me is Shawn Michaels going in, of course. Of course, Ric Flair going in. Who's this with this?
Bro, you know who that is, man. You know who that is, bro.
I just came out of Mania Club, right? I was in Mania Club for 3 hours in the waiting room because they were doing a promo battle for this whole in the MC storyline. I had to cut a promo against BJ, and I had the heat on me, and of course I step up, and now I gotta come here and cut another one. Yo, Walter, listen, bro, you trying to run a show here, inform everybody what's going on. Joe's taking his time. JB is the night before he leaving to go to WrestleMania, and you with this comment, Hall of Fame was bullshit. What's bullshit is this, Walter Sylvie? And guys, I'm sorry, but let me just do this, okay? Here's what's bullshit, Walter Sylvie, is you come on here trolling every day. Why don't you get your own show? You know why you have your own show? Because ain't nobody gonna watch you. You'll be watching yourself. You put up a mirror, your reflection won't watch your show. That's how bad your show would be. So you keep doing what you do, internet trolling in the comments, and we'll ignore you. JB, take over, bro.
All right, let's move on to our topics. We are predicting night 2 of WrestleMania 37. Let's get right into the women's tag team turmoil. We have 4 or 5 teams that are going to battle it out to face Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. I'm gonna go off and say who I think is going to win, and I believe that Tamina and Natty are going to win the turmoil tag team match. What about you, Joe?
I'm going the same. I'd love to see like Ruby and Liv get their shot, but they haven't really been on TV the past like 6 months. I'd love to see Billie Kay and Carmella just because Billie Kay is amazing in her role.
Yeah.
Even if they did something where Carmella ditched her and it wound up being Billie Kay and Peyton, that'd be cool. But I feel it's finally Tamina's time. Tamina has been with the company on the main roster for 11 years and has not had a title reign. I think this is finally her time. I think they are winning the turmoil, and I think they're going on to win the tag titles that night.
Okay. What about you, Tantilizing?
Listen, bro, we can't invite Joe to the show no more, bro.
She.
He can't come anymore. Listen, I'm the star of this show, so he can't be stealing my heat. I was about to say the same thing. Tamina has been with the WWE for 11 years and never carried a title. Why do I just gotta say it now? Boy, you said everything.
Joe, way to shut him up. Moving on.
Exactly.
Yeah, moving
You've
on.
been wanting to do it forever, so there you go.
Moving on to the next topic. That is the women's tag team championship.
You want
So,
my prediction or no?
oh man, I thought Joe shut you up, but you guys got a prediction. Go ahead. Go.
Natty and Tamina.
All right, Natty Tamina. All right, we're all on the same page right now. All right, way to go. Now, the actual women's tag team championship match. We all say Natty and Tamina will take on Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler in this matchup that we're going with. I'm gonna go first. I have Natty and Tamina also winning. Why? I'm with Joe. Tamina, 11 years in the company, has not held any type of championships. Number two, Natty has never had a WrestleMania moment. I am not counting WrestleMania 32, that 5-on-5 match. That was for Brie Bella because Brie
Yeah.
Bella was retiring. Natty has never had a WrestleMania moment. She's been with the company since 2008. We are talking about 13 years. Also, Natty has only held two singles titles. That is the SmackDown Women's Championship. She held that only once. And the Divas Championship. She held that only once. Natty is only a two-time champion in the WWE. To me, Natty is most deserving of a WrestleMania moment. Tamina right behind her. This has to be done. I think it's the right thing to do. Natty and Tamina, new WWE Women's Tag Team Champions. Joe.
Same exact way. Natalia is the workhorse woman in WWE. She's the veteran where she rebounds easily. Like, she's dependable. They can put her anywhere on the card. She always makes her opponent look great. Tamina, she's had a bit of a rough spot the past, decade.
Yeah.
I think this is finally her time, and especially with a hot crowd. There hasn't been a crowd in a year. If there's like big hot tags where you have Tamina and Nia finally facing off in the match, you could very well get a great reaction out of those two.
Oh, most definitely. Most definitely. Tantilizing. What you got, my friend? Oh, man. Man, Nicholas got his tongue, I guess. I don't know.
Now he's bringing Nicholas into it.
I got to talk it, Joe. I got to talk it.
Listen, man. Listen, we all know. I think Natty, to me, is too nice backstage. I think also that Total Divas has hurt Natty a little bit. Just to say, not that she's not out there in the mainstream. I think that she's been such a persona on that show. They depend on Natty more on Total Divas than they do like to be a title bearer. She's trained just about every woman that's come in. Every woman that's come in to WWE got to go through Natty. Charlotte Flair had to go through Natty. Everybody goes through Natty, and Natty has done her job and done the job over the course of these last 13 years. I think it's Natty's WrestleMania moment. And like I said, I'm glad to see Tamina and her. To me, I'm using my line. It's a miscarriage of justice if they don't win the titles.
Natty is one of the most technical wrestlers in the women's division. To me, she's one of the best. She's paid her dues. She's deserving of this. And then that's not to mention she's helped train a lot of the younger stars. I mean, think about it. She helped train the Bella Twins, Ronda Rousey. So, I mean, she's done the right thing in the business. Why not give Natty her WrestleMania moment? So I say we all in agreement with Natalia and Tim. Awesome.
I'm upset that I'm in agreement with you two, but it is what it is.
Oh my goodness, it's okay, man. Sometimes it's good to be on the right side of things, you know. Now, moving on. U.S. Championship. We have Riddle versus Sheamus. Joe, I will let you start it off.
I'm going with Sheamus, mainly just because one, Matt Riddle as U.S. champion hasn't really felt like a champion to me. Um, it basically just feels like he's a comedic wrestler, just happens to have the title, which he shouldn't be portrayed that way anyhow. But I feel if Sheamus wins it, whomever beats him, whether it be like Damian Priest, Keith Lee, whoever it is, they'll get more of a rub chasing a dominant heel champion a few months down the line than anyone who beats Matt Riddle will. The only person I can still see beating Matt Riddle besides Sheamus is Mustafa Ali. But especially with Riddle flubbing his lines last week and just kind of walking off, I think there might be a thing where even if he was penciled in to win, they might have been like, let's switch over to Sheamus anyhow. But even regardless, besides that, I think Sheamus is the choice for this one. Have him win it, build up Keith Lee or Damian Priest, and then they'll win it, down the line.
Tantalizing.
I noticed I'm looking in the screen, I'm looking at my lovely titles here. 10 beautiful titles on my shelves. 10. 10, I tell you. How many you got? 6. Outnumbered. Once again, I'm number one.
Well, I mean, I have 6, but then I have another 4 in Taekwondo, so that makes 10. I mean,
Okay, so we counting those? Well, let's count my wrestling titles. I'm a 2-time former USCW light heavyweight champion. So then I got 12 then, okay?
is,
Thanks.
is is that a world championship though?
Listen, bro. Anyway, I don't like Matt Riddle. I've never liked Matt Riddle. I don't like any wrestler that doesn't wear shoes. I hated Rusev till he put his shoes on. I hated Superfly Jimmy Snuka till he put his boots on. I just can't stand you if you're barefoot. I never liked Kamala. I just don't like you if you're barefoot. I hated Kevin Von Erich. It's something about a shoeless wrestler that just throws me off, man. So Sheamus bro kicks him in 4 seconds like he did Daniel Bryan and beats him 1, 2, 3. Listen, I will give Matt Riddle credit for this though. He's hilarious. He's funny. He is funny. He messes up his lines every now and then, but he's a funny dude. I just think that it's not his time. I think they put the title on him too quick.
Same.
Yeah.
And, did you interrupt me? No, I think Sheamus has, the guy's 43 now,
Yeah.
and time's winding down for Sheamus. Even though he's in great shape, your knees don't stay young forever. So I definitely think he won the U.S. title, and I would love to see Sheamus hold it for a while. And I would like to even see Damian Priest don't need a title now. I'd love to see Ricochet take it from him down the road.
They give Ricochet a chance on TV.
I think they will. I think Sheamus is the kind of dude that will put Ricochet over and go to bat for him. Just like Randy Orton's going to bat for Ricochet as well. I know this is not the topic, but I think Ricochet, we got some big things coming for Ricochet. But back to the matter at hand, I think Sheamus beats the living crap out of Riddle. Hope he breaks his toes.
I I want to see Sheamus have another run at a world championship before he hangs it up. At least get it one more time. I've said that about Jeff Hardy too. Want to see Jeff Hardy get the world championship one more time before they hang it up. In regards to this match, I'm going with Sheamus. I think Sheamus gets the job done. He wins. I'm not the biggest Riddle fan of him in the ring. A lot of people are, but I don't have nothing against the guy. I think he's hilarious. I think he's entertaining. But I don't think people are, how can I say it, captivated by him being U.S. champion. I think people were more captivated by Bobby Lashley being U.S. champion than Riddle. So I
Hmm.
think if they get this belt off of Riddle and put it on Sheamus, people will be more captivated with seeing Sheamus as the U.S. champion. So we all agree with Sheamus.
Yeah.
Intercontinental Championship. Big E defends his title against Apollo. Tantalizing, you can go first.
I am going to talk like this for the entire segment. Let me tell you something, my brothers and sisters. Big E will go into WrestleMania. He is a big man. He has very big pectoral muscles. He is very big. That's why they call him Big E. But Apollo Crews, he has his new heritage. He carries a big spear. He smiles with his big teeth like this. I think they are going to give the title to Apollo Crews because there's no need for this match to happen unless the title changes hands. Big E goes down. New Day does not rock.
Joe.
A couple days ago, I was going with Big E, but I think it's going to be a situation where, especially this being like their third or fourth match, it having a stipulation that we don't really know what the hell the stipulation is.
Right.
If Crews doesn't win it, I don't know what's going on with Crews after that. I think it's safe to put the title on Crews because I think Big E is a strong contender to win Money in the Bank. So I'm going with Crews in this because I think Big E has Universal title coming up in his future in the next year.
Okay. I see Big E as Universal Champion coming up soon also. I see it happening. But back to this match. Big E is from Tampa, Florida. WrestleMania is in Tampa, Florida. But if Big E wins, I think Apollo is buried once again. And we won't see Apollo for a long time. And it wouldn't make sense for Big E to win this match at all. Not at all, especially when they have bigger plans for Big E happening. Apollo Crews will be your new Intercontinental Champion come Sunday. He will defeat Big E. He will talk like a Nigerian again, holding his spear with the big old teeth. Yes, it would happen. Apollo, Intercontinental Champion. What you got, Tantalizing?
Let me say one more thing about this match. Even if Big E loses, he still looks strong.
Correct.
Because it's a gimmick match. We do not know what the Nigerian beating drum match is. We might get a giant bongo drum and bust Big E over the head. So, that being said, it doesn't matter if Big E loses. Because I agree with you once again, which I do not like. But bigger things are in the future for Big E with the Universal Championship.
Do y'all see a feud with Big E and Seth Rollins happening?
I do.
If Big E loses his title. Joe says yes. Tantalizing?
I definitely see that. Oh, excuse me. I definitely see that. But I also see Cesaro in that mix as well. Some kind of triple threat thing going on between him, Big E, and Seth Rollins.
I see Big E in a feud with Seth Rollins. I see Cesaro in a feud with Apollo for the Intercontinental Championship. And then let's not forget about Shinsuke also. They might throw Shinsuke in the mix. But we're all in agreement. Apollo wins at WrestleMania.
Wakanda forever!
Oh, Lord. Raw Women's Championship. Asuka versus Rhea Ripley. Joe, you can go first, my friend.
I am going with Asuka in this one because the way they had her about a month ago in that match of Shayna, where they kind of teased she's going to be a little bit more vicious, and then the past 2 weeks, Rhea's gotten the better of her. I think the Asuka that they're going to show on Sunday isn't the same Asuka we've seen the past year. it's going to be a lot more of a vicious Asuka to take this one. And part of me, I was thinking about that earlier. They might be kind of doing the same thing with Bianca and Sasha, that they might actually have Bianca, to agree with Tony kind of from yesterday. Bianca might best Sasha if Bianca actually takes her level from 0 to 10 and just completely shows everybody up. I think they might be doing two different tells of women going in, one as champion, one as the challenger, but both completely upping their game for their matches.
Well, I look at Asuka in the past couple WrestleManias. She lost to Charlotte. Last year she lost the tag team match to I believe Alexa and Nikki. Am I correct?
Yep, correct. Last year,
right? And then 35, she was in the Battle Royal.
Yeah.
Right. So she has not won a Mania herself.
No.
She's 0 for 3. Rhea Ripley is 0 for 1. And they are hyping Rhea Ripley like the next big thing to come to Raw. And it looks like they are trying to turn Rhea Ripley heel. And to me, it matches her theme song, Brutality. Be heel. Do heelish stuff. I like it. I like what I'm seeing from Rhea Ripley. But Rhea's not ready for Asuka. Asuka maintains as Raw Women's Champion. Sorry, Rhea. You got to wait a little bit longer. Tantilizing Tony.
I'm so happy you two jabronis agree with each other so I can finally disagree. Thank you, God. Listen, you two, and pay attention to the tantalizing one because I'm the captain now. They have brought Rhea Ripley up and immediately given her a title shot on the main roster off the bat. You have her lose this match, it kills all her momentum. Everything. It's like, why do you bring her up to lose her first major match on the main roster? She wasn't on the main roster when she lost to Charlotte. She was in NXT. She was the NXT champion.
But on the grandest stage of them all, though.
Doesn't matter. She wasn't officially a WWE superstar. She was an NXT superstar. And that's where you got to look at it. It's another brand. No matter what you think, NXT is another brand. And
Rhea Ripley hasn't had the belt in over a year.
And exactly. Thank you for making my point for me. Rhea Ripley hasn't had a belt in over a year. And she's done everything they've asked her to do in NXT. She's done everything she could possibly do. She comes in, she hits Asuka with a table, flips it up, and then says, "We accept the challenge, the tag team match." Then she knocks the taste out of her mouth last night on Raw, pushes her off the damn top turnbuckle. Bro, I don't care if Asuka can say, "You are not ready for Asuka." Asuka is not ready for Rhea Ripley. And this is from a guy, I am not Rhea Ripley's best fan. I am not.
We know.
Asuka has nothing that she has to. She doesn't hurt her if she loses. Rhea's going to cheat somehow. She has gone full heel. Rhea Ripley will be your new Raw Women's Championship, which opens the door for Miss Becky Lynch to come back. Rhea Ripley wins this match.
So you don't think Asuka wins and that sets up a match between her and Becky again?
Nope.
We've seen him at the Royal Rumble twice. We saw Becky relinquish her belt and give it to Asuka. Asuka is the champion again. She lost to Sasha and got it back. You don't think Becky and Asuka will happen?
Let me check my notes. Nope.
What about you, Joe?
I think it will happen. I think much like Lesnar in 2012 when he came back and then lost to Cena, it's going to be a situation like that where Rhea will rebound. Rhea might even take the title the next month. But I think Asuka's winning it. Rhea will be champion this year, but I think Asuka is going to have some matches with like Becky Lynch first before Rhea takes the title. So I'm with you on that one.
I agree. I think we'll see Becky come back and it sets up her and Asuka, two big names on the main roster. but Rhea will have her time down the line. I'm with Joe. Sorry, you're the long guy out, Tony, but you'll be all right. You'll be fine. I promise you. Now, a match I believe we're all looking forward to: Kevin Owens versus Sammy Zane. Um, I'll go first. These guys have had quite a relationship. Best friends, were in the Indies together, New Japan Pro Wrestling together, Ring of Honor together. They've had numerous matches that I can't count together. They've had numerous matches in WWE / NXT. I think this is going to be one hell of a match. If Vince lets them just be themselves and let them go out there and do what they can do, they can tear down a whole place. I really believe that Sami Zayn will get this victory. We saw Sammy defeat Seth last year. We saw KO. No, not Seth. Sammy defeated Daniel Bryan. KO defeated Seth. But I think Sami Zayn gets the victory over Kevin Owens some type of way. I don't know if one of his documentary men gonna do something or what. I don't know. But Sami Zayn victorious over Kevin Owens. Joe.
I'm going the opposite on this one. I think it could easily go either way. I love that these two are finally having a one-on-one Mania match, pretty much for all the exact same reasons you said of all the other places that they've competed at. They deserve to have a one-on-one match together. I think Owens. I mean, both guys need a win. Both guys have been on kind of a losing streak, but I think a victory for Owens does more for Sami Zayn because if Sami Zayn wins, really can't really do too much of Owens other than a heel turn. But if Owens wins, Sami Zayn can use that for his whole conspiracy angle that he's out. People are more out to get him again. They can even have Logan Paul cost him inadvertently. But I think that is why Sammy will lose. I think honestly, a loss for Sammy here will do more than the victory will do for Sammy.
Okay. Tantilizing.
Jared, I don't agree with you. And Joe, I don't agree with you. I think this match is going to be a double disqualification. I think they're going to beat the living crap out of each other, and there's going to be a no contest. And they're going to draw this out to SummerSlam. Because of money. Those two are money. Either one of them beating each other does nothing for the other one.
I agree with that.
Win, Sammy don't need to win. I think they're going to just kill the crap out of each other, and they fight back to the dressing room. No contest. We haven't seen it in a long time in a WrestleMania, a double DQ or double.
I was about to say that. We haven't seen that in a very, very long time in
Those are the
WrestleMania.
two guys that do it.
Plus, it would actually help Sammy if there is like that type of situation. It helps bring Sammy up because even when he was Intercontinental Champion, like say the past 2 years since he returned a few years ago, he hasn't been really a serious threat to anybody. He's felt like he's either needed Cesaro or Nakamura or any sort of underhanded tactics to win. If there is some sort of brawl like that, it could actually kind of ignite a different type of Sami Zayn. So I'd be okay with that. I'm still going with Owens winning, but I would totally be okay with that.
Okay. One with a double DQ. Joe with Owens. I have Sami Zayn. Now, I think we're all going to go the same route with this one. That is Randy Orton versus The Fiend. I'll start it off. I am picking The Fiend. As you know, The Fiend mentality, his job is to get revenge over everyone that has defeated Bray Wyatt in the past, did him wrong, and Randy Orton is next on that list. But this feud has gone for a very, very long time. Joe and Tony, I'm not even sure if this feud will end after WrestleMania. I just don't know what to expect. But The Fiend gets the win. He'll have some type of help from Alexa Bliss. It will not be a cinematic match. We will see this match in person. Nobody will get burned alive. That's not gonna happen. But The Fiend gets the win. Tantalizing.
I'm over this feud. I'm over these two. I was over it at WrestleMania 33. I'm over these two. I told him over this whole Ultimate Warrior Papa Shango gimmick with the guys bombing black stuff and yo, the dude was put on fire. You come back from that? Well, come on! I'm over this crap. The Fiend wins, and I hope this ends this feud. Let Randy Orton go on to bigger and better things. Let him go for the title again or whatever. Let him break Ric Flair and Cena's record. I'm over this Fiend thing. I love Bray Wyatt. I'm just over these two together. They just keep recycling this with these two. And their chemistry's not that great. It's okay. It's not off the chain like, oh, I can't wait to see this match. Come on, you guys remember 33. That was the most boring match you ever seen in your life.
It was.
Come on, man. Now, granted, they've done better now, and maybe with the fans in attendance, we'll see. But let's end this feud. Let the Fiend put Randy Orton into the ground and let him and Alexa Bliss go off into Pee-wee's Playhouse and do their thing.
Go ahead, Joe.
Their first feud, I think, was kind of a cluster because the whole setup was odd because Orton wins, the Rumble the first time. Bray's not even champion yet, but then Bray finally wins the title, and then they have their match. Where it's like if Orton was, trying to infiltrate the Wyatt family, didn't really make sense in the long run on that one. This feud here, I haven't minded, but I think the build towards this Mania has been stretched out because they've done too much. Mm-hmm. The way I originally wanted this feud to go was Kane and Taker at Mania 20. I didn't want the Fiend to return until WrestleMania. I wanted them to announce the match, the Fiend to return, and I don't want to say completely squash in like a minute, but have like a short 5-minute match where the Fiend gets the victory. I still think they're going to do a quasi squash here, but I feel the feud will continue into Money in the Bank. I feel they're going to do a cinematic match at Money in the Bank, and that's when they're going to cap it off. But for this one here, I'm going with the Fiend.
There you have it. Fiend all the way through with all three of us. And we get to our last topic of the day, Universal Championship. Roman Reigns defends his title against Edge and Daniel Bryan. I will start this off. When it was just Roman Reigns and Edge, I was very, very intrigued with this matchup. I was very into this matchup. As weeks went by, I told Tantilizing and Tony, I said, man, they will make this a triple threat match with Daniel Bryan. Tony was like, it ain't going to happen, bro. It ain't going to happen. You ain't got to worry. It ain't going to happen. Not to put you on the spot. Not to put you on the spot, man. I'm not trying to put you on the spot. I'm really not. But he said it ain't going to happen. And then once we saw Fastlane, I texted Tony. I said, bro, it's happening. It's happening. SmackDown, it became official. Everything right now that is happening, Joe, reminds me of 7 years ago.
It does.
Yeah, when Daniel Bryan did everything he can to show everybody he was not a B-plus player. He was a main event player. And the story was wonderful 7 years ago. He beat Triple H, and then he beat Randy Orton and Batista for the world title. We've seen this story happen. I do not want to see Daniel Bryan win again. I have nothing against him. But, like I said, it seems as a repeat from 7 years ago. I think, can he make the match more interesting in itself? Yes, indeed. He had a great triple threat match with Batista and Randy Orton. So, yeah, I think he can. But I really believe Edge or Roman should walk out as champion. And what Roman has done so far since he's came back has been phenomenal. His storylines, phenomenal. His character, phenomenal. Roman on the mic, better than what he was. Roman has been great. You want to watch SmackDown to see what Roman will do next. My money for this match will be on Roman Reigns to walk out as Universal Champion. I'm going with Roman. Tantalizing.
So the only difference I see with your scenario is, yeah, 3 of them, triple threat, 7 years, blah blah. We get it. But the difference is this: nobody wanted Batista in that match. Nobody wanted Batista to win that Rumble.
Nobody. Correct.
Batista was booed out of Philadelphia. I should know because I was there. I think this scenario is a little different. I think bringing Brian in, and I'll give you your credit where credit's due. You were correct. And by the way, Titus is about to accept the Warrior Award. Who he deserves it.
Yes.
I think Daniel Bryan adds a level to this match that we might not have wanted to get, but I think it's going to add to the pageantry of it. Here's why I say this. Daniel Bryan is arguably one of the best wrestlers on the planet.
That's correct.
He brings that aspect. Roman Reigns right now is definitely the biggest heel on the planet. And Edge with the biggest comeback story in history. You could say Daniel Bryan's story was big. Yeah, it was big. He was only out 3 years. Right? 3 or 4, right? Not even, it wasn't that long. 3 years. Roman, the comeback kid, of course, beat leukemia, which is, not to steal AJ's name, but phenomenal. But Edge, 9 years gone, and then gets re-injured and has to come back again. Wins the Royal Rumble. He's in the triple threat. Putting Daniel Bryan in this match helps Roman and helps Edge. When Edge pins Daniel Bryan, which is what I'm calling, Roman never got pinned for the title. Daniel Bryan has no problem doing the job. He's in the main event of WrestleMania again. He don't need the title. He just had it 2 years ago. He's done everything. He wants his last WrestleMania main event. He's got it. There's no way they brought Edge back from 9 years of obscurity, now 10 years with this match, to beat Randy Orton at WrestleMania, to go through hell with that greatest match ever, to have to come back again and lose? No way. Edge will pin Daniel Bryan, and he will become Universal Champion, and that sets up feuds between Bryan and Edge, Edge and Roman, and Edge and anybody else who wants to grab the title. Edge, you're new Universal Champion. And technically, it's the title that he never lost, because the WWE title is the WWE title. The Universal title would be the World Heavyweight Championship, which is this title. He gets it back.
Joe.
I am glad Bryan is in it because of the parallels with all three of them. Because Edge retired as champion. Roman Reigns had to give up his championship for leukemia. Daniel Bryan had to give up 2 different titles, and then he retired a year later. I'm always pulling for Daniel Bryan to win, so I always want him to win it. And Roman Reigns, above all else, above Finn Balor, above Walter, Io Shirai, Kaylee Ray, who are all, in my opinion, the best champions there are right now, along with Jonathan Gresham. I think those are all champions that feel like champions. Roman Reigns has that big fight feel. He comes in. He only wrestles on SmackDown like once, but he's done every single pay-per-view, knocked it out of the park every single time.
Mm-hmm.
He feels like a threat. He's basically, all the people who mock Brock Lesnar and praise Roman Reigns is basically doing the exact same thing, except for the fact that Roman is, putting in the work every single week. he doesn't need Paul Heyman as his mic man. He's doing his own thing. Paul is lackey. Roman is on fire right now. Part of me wants Roman Reigns to retain because he is so great at what he's doing. As far as who will win, I feel Roman, it might be too early to take the title off of him. I think WWE sees him as a gold mine right now, but Daniel Bryan is definitely there to take the pinfall. Before Bryan was in the match, if it was Edge versus Roman, we knew Edge was going to be winning it. Bryan is in there, look weak. Edge is going to be pinning Daniel Bryan to become the world champion for the exact same reasons Tony said. He was gone for all those years. Having him win the Royal Rumble just to lose doesn't really make a lick of sense to me. I am completely in agreement with Tony on this one.
You said him to lose the Royal Rumble doesn't make sense. But 7 years ago, they did do that to Batista.
They did, but that was them shooting themselves in the foot. If you heard like Tony was saying, if you heard the crowd reaction, they didn't want Tony to be Batista to be winning it that night.
Oh no, nobody did. Right.
Edge, it's the title that he lost everything. He definitely deserves to have it back. There's a lot of dynamics they could do with this one. I think if Edge wins, you could easily do Edge and Bryan the next month. And I think you could easily take Roman off TV for a month. Have Roman come back at that show. And you could even have a rematch of the triple threat at whatever the June pay-per-view is. And you could easily put the belt back on Roman that night. And yet again, Bryan could be the person that takes the pinfall against Sadly that night. But I don't think it would even hurt him if he loses 2 different triple threat matches in a 2-month span. I'm going with Edge winning this Sunday or Sunday for their show. I'm going with Edge.
Not to mention, Edge won the Royal Rumble before and lost to Jericho. They're not going to do that to him again.
Good point. Very good point. Let me ask you both this question. When Roman was a face, he got booed tremendously, and it wasn't deserved. Come this Sunday with fans, Roman as a heel, will Roman be the one getting cheered?
I honestly feel all 3 men are going to be getting the biggest ovations of the entire weekend. I think Bryan's pretty much set for life as far as being completely over. Edge, he hasn't had a singles match, not a singles match, but I guess basically a singles match in front of a live crowd in over a decade. Because, he had the Royal Rumble. The Royal Rumble was just a spectacle. This here is actual legit match. Fans are going to be popping for Edge. Roman Reigns, I think there could either be 2 ways of Roman. Either one, kind of like Ciampa back in New Orleans, that people just realize what a great heel he is, and you boo him because of that. Or on the flip side,
they were cursing him out.
Yeah. Or on the flip side, Roman Reigns enters and gets the biggest ovation of his career because of the work that he's done the past 8 months, 7 months. But I think all 3 men are going to be getting huge ovations. And even if Roman does get heat, it's going to be a completely different type of heat than he's had in the past 7 years. It's going to be more Shield heat if he does get it, because it'll be respected heel heat, not we hate you John Cena heat. But yeah, I think Roman has a great chance of actually getting a big giant pop.
Listen, you made a great point about they're going to get the pop of the night. I don't think anybody's getting booed.
Yeah.
Good point. Yeah.
I think every person that comes out is getting cheered. I'm very nervous.
Wait, hold up. Let me stop you.
Oh, the whole pay-per-view?
Yeah.
No, hold on. Let me stop you. Hulk Hogan.
Oh, well, I'm going to boo him personally. But this is a real. I'm shooting right here now. I'm not a gimmick. I am so happy to be at Mania. I'm really sad too that everybody's not going.
Yeah, me too.
I'm beat up. I'm beat up about a few certain people specifically.
Yeah.
You know, and of course Joe's one of them.
Joe is one of them. That's right.
If I mention everybody, they get mad at me because you forgot me.
Yeah,
but
don't do it. Don't
I
do
don't do it. But they know who they are. But you know, when me and Jared will be together for most of the time. We do everything together. Looks like we're still trying to decide we're going to do Mania Club, the thing. But
yeah, Friday night, right?
Let me just say this. Wrestling to me, other than my family, is everything. It is. I'm so honored to be able to go and represent MVS with my brother. And as sad as it is that everybody's not going, you guys are going to live vicariously through us.
Oh, yeah.
We're going to post. We're going to mention your names. We're going to cheer. Bro, you know, I know it sucks not to be there, but you're there. You're there. And I'm so nervous about breaking down in WrestleMania because, like, I'm an emotional guy. I'm emotional. And I'm really nervous that I'm going to be, like, in awe, like, wow, we went through the worst year in the history of the world. And now we're back in business. See how I did that?
Mm-hmm.
So I think a lot of people are going to feel like me too and be so happy to be in this kind of a setting. Because, listen, we've got football, we got baseball, Super Bowl. I don't care what you watch, and I'm looking right into the camera. Nothing is like a wrestling fan.
No.
There are no fans like us on the face of the planet. Because we come there, we don't care what the outcome is. We don't care if it's predetermined. We don't care. We go there and we represent. So I think that every wrestler that walks out there, with the exception of that, with the exception of Hulk Hogan, I'm going to cheer because they all deserve it.
Well said.
I think people are going to have that same feeling that, yo, they're back. They're all getting cheers. I think The Miz is going to get huge ovation. Huge.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
I think the only person who might not, and it's basically because of the actual program itself going in, is Braun. I think that crowd might be 100% behind Shane and booing Braun. But looking at the rest of the card, I think everyone else on here is going to get a huge pop, no matter what. I mean, wrestling is the liveliest crowd. And the thing is, WrestleMania gets people from all over the world.
That's right.
You take people from all over who they aren't casuals necessarily. I mean, granted, sometimes there are casuals who go, but generally, if you're going to Mania, you love professional wrestling.
Yeah.
If you're going to Mania, you know about these people. You thrive for the industry. You eat, sleep, breathe this shit. So you have every single person coming down. You haven't been able to cheer anybody for a year. You haven't been able to do anything for a year. Concerts, movies, football games, anything. This is going to be the largest crowd in over a year, and largest crowd since like February of last year. Having all those people with all this, I don't want to say built up aggression, just all this built up emotion and energy, letting it all out. Whoever the opening match is going to be historic.
Yeah.
And the end of the night, especially Manias, can be tiring because a lot of times they're like, 6-7 hours.
Right.
This year is going to be a lot better pace for you guys because it's 2 nights, which I hope they don't do next year because that's just going to be a huge cluster, I think, every single year.
Right.
But right here, 2 nights in a row, these shows maybe 3-4 hours. Nothing. People would want that, especially people who are you guys are both going both nights?
Yes.
Okay. People who are going both nights are especially going to be eating it up. People who are just going one night each, they'll have their thing. But people who are going both nights, they're witnessing history because this is going to be a historic weekend, not just for wrestling. This is a historic weekend for everything. The end of the night, whatever is closing, which I'm sure is going to be the WWE Championship. that crowd, the last thing you hear on Peacock, WD Network, whatever you're watching on that night, the final crowd reaction you're going to be hearing is going to be haunting, whether it be cheers or boos. If they do some sort of big angle, say Ed just goes completely vicious and they try to do boos, I think there's going to be that combination of boos and cheers that say like Psycho Sid got back in 1996 or something. It's going to be a hot crowd. This crowd here, I think, is going to be the hottest WrestleMania crowd in years. And it's not even going to be a full crowd, obviously. Only 25 each night. I think the raw emotion going in is just going to be so impactful that even people watching it at home, they might even just close their eyes at certain points just to listen to the crowd. I think this is going to be huge for everybody coming down there. And I wouldn't be surprised if certain wrestlers get emotional and tear up when they get into the ring.
Well said. Well said, my friend. Well said. I can say this. I can't wait. I can't wait till I wake up at 4 o'clock in the morning, my time, grab my bags, and drive to the airport. I can't wait. But just like Tony said, man, and I was telling this to my girlfriend, that, yeah, we go there for the show. We go there to meet other wrestlers at Access and WrestleCon. But you don't understand the people that you meet and you build relationships with. I sat there and said, I've known Ebony since WrestleMania 32. I've known you guys since WrestleMania 33.
Yeah.
And I've met others from when I went to 34. And then there's some I've known since 30 that are also part of NVS. You build relationships with these guys, and you, Joe, and Tony, us doing this together, this shows that, we're friends. We haven't seen each other in years due to me not going to 35 and then the pandemic for y'all too, and me included. And now me and Tony get to see each other, but we have continued our friendship. So this just shows you that, you meet these people and you build friendships, and then you see them from year to year to year, just to reminisce, keep in touch. Hey man, how you been? To me, that is the best part about WrestleMania week.
It is, because I've told people WrestleMania isn't necessarily about the card. Originally, when you first go, it can be, but it becomes more about the people and the bonds that you have.
Yeah.
Like, I have this memory in Orlando. I was walking from the hotel down to the area where Access and stuff is. And on that way, I had 2 different discussions with people walking down there where I didn't exchange names or anything. We were standing at a red light, and you just happened to be talking to this person about what show they're coming from, what show they're going to, every single thing about it. And there's just that camaraderie. And then, you guys get to that corner, you guys split and you go your own way. You might never see that person again, but it's hey, that doesn't happen just every single day. You can't be walking down the street right now and just be like, hey, you going to WrestleMania this week. People are going to be like, the fuck are you talking about? But, this weekend, the entire week, it's usually 6 days.
Yeah.
Chances are, if you're at the airport, you're seeing wrestling fans. You'll see wrestling shirts.
Yes.
I remember eating at a restaurant in Dallas, and I was sitting at one table, and there was 3 or 4 other dudes there, and one person happened to been asking a place where Takeover might be streamed at a bar or something. Everyone in the restaurant, this is a fast food place, starts talking about professional wrestling. So everyone who was eating their meals basically was just eating their meal alone. All was wound up having a meal with a group of 6 people who they didn't know, just because professional wrestling is that driving force that brings people together.
Well, look at this. Here's a great example. When we went to WrestleMania 35, Joe, and Kofi won the title.
Yeah.
The first person I hugged was you. First person you hugged was me.
Yeah.
We were literally happy,
yeah,
little kid happy.
Uh-huh.
Everybody behind us was hugging and everything except for that one douchebag that was smoking. Remember that douche?
I remember that dude.
But the buzz of that place when Kofi won the title.
Mm-hmm.
I've been to a lot of Manias, man, and that had to be one of the best feel-good moments up there with Daniel Bryan winning.
Yeah.
It was just something else. Just it was like a different. I can't explain the feeling. It like overtook us because we all wanted it so bad. It was like we were in the ring.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like everybody was in the ring with Kofi. Like we were all part of something big. All of us.
It was legit, it was a legit sports moment because it was people who had been watching their team lose for 10 years.
Like the Red
finally
Sox.
Win. Yes. Perfect example. That's exactly what it was right there. Guy debuts on, WWE main roster television in 2008. 10 years or 12 years later it is when that happened. 10 years later, 11 years later when that happens. 11 years to see him finally get it at the biggest stage that there is in the biggest wrestling city that there is. Well, second outside the shadows of the city. Mm-hmm. But
it's New York, technically.
Yes, yeah. There can't be anything bigger for Kofi than right then and right there. And for people to be celebrating together, people were not just cheering, people were celebrating that.
Crying.
Yeah.
In tears.
Yeah.
Of joy. It was like a beautiful moment. And that's what wrestling does for me. It's like, we talk about this all the time. Wrestling fans, to me, are the realest people you're going to meet. We got poor eating habits. We're the most unhealthy fans. And out of all the fans, wrestling fans are the most unhealthy people. I should know. But it's like we have this. It's the one place. It doesn't matter what you look like. You don't gotta be a pretty boy. You don't gotta be a sexy girl. You could just be you. I see the biggest, heaviest dudes with the tightest wrestling shirt on, 500 pounds with a Kofi Kingston tight belly shirt on, and you're like, you don't even look at them funny.
Yeah.
Because it's such a community. It's like freaking Hands Across America. I know it sounds real freaking cliche, but that's what it is basically.
Yeah.
Because if I wasn't into wrestling, I would never meet Joe. I would never meet you. I would know people in here. The one thing Walter Sylvie did good was bring me into MVS. Everything else, Walter Sylvie, downhill. But, it's like, when would you guys, and I'm not trying to toot my own horn, but I am a little bit, when would you guys ever meet a guy like me who does not give a shit? A 52-year-old, going to be 53, right after WrestleMania is over, 53-year-old wrestling fan that does not give a shit, that will cut a promo anywhere in the middle of the street and bring every title belt he owns. Where are you going to see that? Nowhere. This is the best thing going to. It's the best thing going today. Bro. I can't wait. I am already booked for next year. I can't wait, bro.
I am too.
There you go. Yeah, me too. Hands down. We'll be in Dallas.
You want to answer some questions? Do we got to go?
Yes, pretty much. Yeah, we passed that hour.
Oh,
yes.
we done? We done?
We are done. That is it.
Damn. We done.
Yes, indeed. So, WrestleMania week. You have TakeOver tomorrow and Thursday. You have WrestleMania Saturday and Sunday. People, enjoy your WrestleMania week. I want to thank our good friend, Mr. Joe O'Connor, for once again joining us 2 nights in a row. Anytime, my friend, you're welcome to this show. Anytime.
2 nights of WrestleMania, 2 nights of Joe.
That's right.
Joe Mania is running wild.
Joe O-Mania.
It happens.
For Joe O'Connor, everybody, for my brother from another, Tantilizing, Tony Levin, I'm Mr. Steal Your Dibs. We are on the road to WrestleMania. Peace.